Boy and his dogs here playing Hexcells Infinite, moving on to puzzle 3-6. Okay, we are going to start up top right with our -3. We know those two are going to be blue. Either way, the break will be in here. So now we have our -2 here, we can eliminate that one. And we know one of those two will be blue. Same over here, we can eliminate that. Okay, we've solved for our bracketed 2. We now have our 3. And for this 2, we'll have that. Get some of these basic moves done. It's nice when you can tear through some of these easy ones pretty quickly. Alright, -2, there has to be a break there. We've solved for the bracketed 2. Alright, so for this column we have 2 minus 5, so there's 3 total in this area. We have 2 already. We know one of them is going to be here for that 3 to work, so we can eliminate these last 2. The 4 has a total of 4 around it. We've solved for our 3. We have our 2 there. Okay, we have our 1. Alright, so we have 2 total in this area, and we have only 1 left, and it has to be one of these 2 for this 1 to work. And we can eliminate those outside 2 because we know those won't be one of the blue ones. And let's see here. Alright, let's say we marked this outside one as blue. That would mean that we would eliminate this one. Then for this 3 to work, all 3 of these would have to be blue. Now if you did that, you'd end up having a blue here and a blue here, which would make this 1 not work. So we know that one's going to be blue and that one's not going to be blue. And we solved for that 2. We have our 2 there now. 1, 2, 3 for that one. For this 3 we have 1, 2, 3. For the -2 there has to be a space, so we can eliminate that one. Alright, for this column 1's going to be down here. That leaves 2 up here. And we have our 2, so we can eliminate these 3. And we know that one will have to be blue at the very least for that -2. We now have our 3 here. Let's go ahead and eliminate that one. And since we know only one of these will be blue, for this 4 to work, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 will definitely be blue. We've solved for our -2. We can eliminate that one. And there has to be a space there. And there has to be a space there for that -2. Lots of dashes here. Alright, for -3 we have 1, 2. We know that one has to be eliminated. -2 again, has to be a space there at least. For this 3 we have 1, 2, 3. And we have our 2 there. And 1, 2, 3. We have our 2 for that one. Alright, so we got close to almost all the top done. Alright, so for this column we're going to have 2, and we know one of them has to be here for this 3 to work. There's only 2 here, so it has to be one of these 2. And for the -2 we know they can't be directly connected, so we know one of these will have to be eliminated. Using that, we know that these 2 will definitely be blue. Okay, so now we have a total of 3 in this row, so we can eliminate the rest here. let's see what that does for us here. Okay, for this 2, that one has to be blue. Let's go ahead and deselect that 3 since we've already solved for it. Okay, so down here we have this 1 and this 2. Now for this 1 to work, or I'm sorry, we'll start with the 2 first. For the 2 to work, it's either going to be these 2 or these 2. Either way, this one's going to be touched by either this one or this one. So we can eliminate this one and this one. Because we know either this one or this one will be blue, for either combination, this outside one has to be blue for that 2 to work. Okay, so for this row we have 1, so that means one of these 2 will have to be blue, which will solve this one, which means this one over here can't be. Okay, so now we've solved for that. Dash 2, we know it can't be this one, so we can eliminate that. And we got our blue there. And for this one, we know that's going to be blue. And have we crossed that path yet? No, not quite. Alright, so we're going to take a look up here actually. We got this 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We now have our 2 there. We have our 2 there. Solve for that 1, so we can eliminate those. Let's go ahead and deselect our 4. Alright, can we take this any farther? Okay, I think we're going to have to come back to that area in just a second. Alright, so let's look at this column of 6. We have 1, 2, 3 already blue. There's only 3 left, so those have to be blue. We solve for our 3 now. Solve for our 2, solve for our 2. Okay, we have our 1, so we can eliminate the rest here. Nice to get a 0. And we have our 2 there, and finishing off that column, we have our 2 there. Alright, so let's take a look at the center column. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so the rest of these are blue. Let's take a look at this 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3. We can eliminate those last 2 there. And let's take a look here. We know one of these will be blue for this 3 to work, so we have 1, 2, 3. So we can eliminate the rest in that row. So for that 2 to work, that's going to be blue. And for that 2 to work, that's going to be blue. Okay. Alright, so if we look at these 2 columns here, since we know one of these will be blue. Actually, scratch that. I was about to say something that was incorrect. Alright, so this 2 already has both its blues, so we can eliminate that one. Working our way up here. Alright, since we know one of these 2 will be blue, that means this one won't be blue for that one. Alright, so we have solved for that column. Let's look at this one. We have 1, 2, so one of these 2 will be eliminated and one will be blue. The same goes for this side. How can we use that? Alright, so down here, let's look at this one. Since we know it's going to be either this one or this one, and it can't be both, For this 2 to work, we know this one has to be blue. And now we have our 1 selected for that column. We can eliminate the rest there. For this 2, that will be blue. For this 1, that will be blue. Okay, so for that 3, we have 1, 2, 3. We have our 2 there. We have our 2 there. And we solve for that 2 now, as well as this 2. And since we know one of these will be blue, we can eliminate this one. We have our 3 there, so we can kill that. And finally solve the puzzle with a perfect. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer. I appreciate y'all watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that.